Hi friends, Bowie here. Welcome to our medium intensity interval training session. Woo! Before we get going, I want to take a moment to thank Drummond Street Services and QueerSpace for helping us make this awesome stuff happen. I also want to acknowledge that this is recorded on the stolen lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. Now let us begin. We're going to start with a warm-up, a nice warming warm-up. We're going to start at the top of our heads, get all our joints moving and end up on the floor. So we begin by looking up, bringing our head up, not letting our head sink back too far, just to a comfortable position, and then we're going to tuck our chin down to our collarbones. So we're going to go 10 up and 10 down. Nice and slowly, nice and controlled. That's about 4. That's 5. Making sure we keep our shoulders nice and relaxed, hands just by our sides. 6, that could be 6. This could be 7, we'll go with that. It's roundabout numbers here, we're not too particular. 9 and 10-ish. Nice. Then we're going to take our chin and we're going to look left and try and line our chin up with our collarbone as best we can, keeping our shoulders nice and square. We're not bringing our shoulders forward. We're going for 10 in each direction. That's about 3 or 4. Let's say 4. Let's go, that's 5. Why not? 6. 7. Close enough to it, maybe 8. That's it. We're only pushing as far as what is comfortable. We're not trying to get any further. Oh, we'll do one more for good luck. That's it. Now, we're going to bring our ears down to our shoulders and not our shoulders up to our ears. So we're keeping our arms nice and relaxed by our sides, tilting our head, ear coming as low as we can to our shoulder. It's not going to go very far. That's okay. This is not a big movement that we have. We're going to go 10. So that's 1. This is 2. Trying to keep our hips nice and square as we do this. We don't want to be tilting our whole body, just our neck. That's about 3. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. That's the way. 8. You might be feeling this one up the tops of your shoulders, along and into your neck here. It's 9. That's okay. So long as it's not painful, we are all good. Pain is not our friend. We only want to feel stretching, discomfort, but not like sharp, ow, oh, something bad has happened. If that feels like that, we need to stop. And we need to not push so far and just be a bit more gentle. That's all. Especially if you've got stiff neck, you might find that it comes a bit uncomfortable. Now we're going to move on to our shoulders. So we're going to take our arm and we're going to bring it back, around and behind. We're going to go 10 backwards and 10 forwards. Now if you can't do your arm straight, you can just shrug. It's totally up to you. Whether you shrug or whether you do a windmill arm, we're going to do 10. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you might get some clicks and pops. 9, so long as they're not painful. 10, totally okay. It can just be that, like our shoulder joints, the biggest moving joint, or most free moving joint in our body. So they can sometimes make clicks and clunks. That's about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're swapping sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doing well. Let's keep it going. 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to go back the other way now. Now it is okay to have a little bit of rotation happening here as you bring our arm back as well. So don't think that you've got to try and stay super stiff and forward like this. It's okay. You can twist a little bit. It's totally fine. That's about 5. Let's get 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Give ourselves a little shrug, give our arms a little shake. We're going to move on to our hands next. I'm going to do some wrist circles. So, it's easy to just hold your hands out in front of you for this because it makes it just a bit easier to do. So, elbows bent, kind of close to your sides, and you want to have your wrists only moving. And we're going to scoop little circles inwards. We're going for 10. It's about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to go back the other way. We're going to push our hands out. That's it, like we're shooing something away that we don't want. 5, like fly. 6, I don't know anyone who shoos flies like this. 7, 9, and 10. Now we're going to move on, moving down the body to the hips. Hands on the hips because it gives them a job and it stops them from feeling weird and dangly and awkward. And what we're going to do, feet somewhere around hip width or wherever is comfortable for you, that also helps you to stay balanced, because what we're going to do is push our hips as far forward as we can, around to the side, circling all the way around the back and back to the front, like we're in a giant wine barrel and we're hula hooping the top of it. Yes. It's 2. We're going to go for 10. It's 3. It's 4. And pushing your butt as far out as you can. If it feels weird, you're doing it right. It's 5. 6. 7. 8. This way. 9. You might get some kind of clunkiness in some spots, or that's 10, like corners as opposed to a circular, and that's okay. Sometimes we just tighter through the hips. That's 2. You can take a moment to slow it down through those points that are a bit different, a bit not so smooth. 3. Work through them. It's 4. It can help just to loosen things up a bit. It's 5. 6. It's away. 7. Almost there. 8. 9. One more. And 10. That's the way. Bringing our feet together now, we're going to move to knee circles. Now, our knees don't move big in circles, so we want to keep this nice and controlled, really smooth movements. Again, putting your hands on your knees just because it gives them a job, and otherwise you kind of just have them dangling here like this, and then it all gets a little bit awkward. But what we're going to do, hands on the knees, you're going to bend them forward gently, push them around to the side, and then straighten up at the back and push them back around to the front. So we're going to go for 10. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And knees can be really noisy and clicky as well. So don't feel discouraged if you've got some clunky, gritty sounding knees. It's pretty common. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Finally, we're going to finish off with ankle circles. Now, if you have trouble balancing, feel free to use a chair to stabilize with, use a wall to stabilize with, just something, because we are going to hop onto one foot for this, and you don't want to fall over because there's no fun in that. So, bringing our foot up, balancing carefully, we're going to circle 2, we're going for 10. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, as circular as you can, doesn't matter if it's a D-shaped or a square, totally okay. We're going to go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to swap sides. So don't be surprised also if you find one side is actually easier to balance on than the other. That's quite common. It's okay. You might need just to support for one side and not the other. Let's go. We're going to circle outwards first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then my back of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. We've finished all the circles for our joints so far. Now we are going to squat, just for 10. Feet are going to be somewhere around hip width, just a little bit wider perhaps. Wherever is comfortable for you is the right position. Toes are facing slightly outwards. We bring our hands up to in front of our chests because this keeps our chest up as we squat down, and you are going to go as low as you can comfortably go while still being able to come up out of this, because if we get to the bottom and get stuck, we've gone too far. Want to back that off a bit? Alrighty, let's go. Pushing our hips back and down. We're 1. Remember, you don't have to go that low, just as low as you can. 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to pull yourself down in the bottom as well. 6. We don't want to let gravity pull us down. We want our legs to be pulling us down. 7, which means we go controlled and we go slow as we lower ourselves down. It's 8, 9, 1 more, and 10. Nice. Now we're going to bring our feet about twice as wide as our shoulders, maybe 2.5 times wider than our shoulder width. And we're going to have our toes pointing forwards. We're going to shift to our left, so our weight comes over onto our left leg. And as we do that, we're going to bring our toes on the right foot up off the ground and up onto our heel. Now as we do this, we're going to come to the left, just as low as you can. You want to come back up, swapping sides, keeping the standing foot toes facing forwards. We don't want to let that foot shift out if we can help it. Hands stay in front of the chest. That's 2. We're going to do 10. So that's 3, 4, 5. And you should be feeling the stretch quite intensely up the inside of this leg. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, nice. Alrighty. Now we're heading down to the floor. Alrighty, here we are. We're going to kick off our floor warm-up section with up dog, down dog. Now, if you followed along to Thursday's session, you'll be familiar with this one. We're going to start on our hands and knees, bringing our toes into active toes. I like to call them active toes because they're ready for action. Now, what we're going to do is push our hips back, and we're going to push our heels down towards the floor as much as we can. Now, from here, push our chest towards the ground, and then we're going to drop our hips down, and just hover them above the floor, looking back and up behind us. And we're going to slowly push our hips back up. So I'm going to do 10 like this. That's 2, 3, 4. Breathing as we go this. We're not holding our breath. So breathing in as we come up, breathing out as we stretch forward. That's about 5 maybe. We'll go with that. 6. This is probably one you don't want me being wrong with the count on, but we'll work through it together. Was that 7? I think so. It's 8. Just 2 more. 9. That's the way. And 10. And we're done, bringing our knees down to the floor. We're going to take a moment to fix our clothes up before we go to our wrist stretches. So we're going to take our hands, rotate our fingers outwards so they face our knees just as far as you can. And we'll put our palms down on the floor. Then we're going to take the tops of our feet and press them to the floor and sit back onto our heels. So the closer you bring your fingers to your knees, the bigger the stretch is going to be. But if this is too intense, you can sit back up off your heels a little bit and just hover your hips. Find that point where you're feeling like it's a stretch, but not painful, and at a point where your palms stay on the floor. It's really important. You don't want your hands lifting up off the floor at all. Now we're going to hold this for a loose 30 seconds. You want to be feeling it up through here. You may get some sensation through the palm of your hand and into your fingers as well. It might feel like the skin's stretching intensely, but it's okay. It never comes off. It's fine. It just feels like it pulls sometimes, and that's okay. Making sure also as we do this that we keep our shoulders down. We don't want to kind of sink here. Keep our shoulders down. That's it. We'll go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And gently sitting up onto our heels and allowing our hands to slip off the floor. Give them a shake. And this time we're going to take the backs of our hands and put them down onto the floor. Now you're going to be feeling this stretch up the back of the arm here. Once they're on the floor, fingers are facing our knees as best we can. We sit back down onto our heels. Remember, keeping our shoulders down away from our ears. And we're going to sit here for a loose 30 count. That's it. If you're feeling like you're not getting much from this, you can shift your hands away from your knees. The further away from your knees, the more you're going to feel that stretch. This one can not only feel it in your forearms, you also may get some tingling through your fingers in certain spots. You might feel it up the backs of your upper arms a little bit even. All pretty normal. Just got to learn to embrace these strange sensations that we receive when we put our bodies in new and weird positions. And we'll go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sitting back up onto our heels and taking the weight off our hands. I'll shake them out a moment. So we're going to come forward onto our hands and knees now. Turn our hands over so the backs of our hands are on the floor, under our shoulders. Fingers are going to be facing each other. We're going to use our hips to take a lot of our weight here and brace, because we don't want full body weight on our hands, especially as we're beginning. From this position, you're going to lower your chest down towards the floor, coming back up, and as we reach the top, you're going to close your fists and bring your hands up onto your knuckles. Now you don't want to lift your hands up off the floor. They want to stay, your fingers want to stay in contact with the floor the whole time. And now we're going to slowly open our hands and with control lower our wrists back down so that the tops of our hands are on the floor. Now you may need to take quite a bit of weight in your hips to make this happen without them thudding, because you don't want to be clunking your wrists in this position onto the floor. I'm going to go back down again. We're going to continue like this for 10. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now as we bring up to the top and we have our fists here, we're going to keep them like this. If we need to reset our hands at all to get to that under the shoulder position, you can go ahead and do that right now. What we're going to do now is the exact same thing, but we're going to keep our fist closed the whole time. We're going to go for 10. So go 1, 2, feeling free to put a little bit more weight on your hands at this point if you want to. It's 4, 5, or that could have been 3, who knows. Let's go 6, why not? 7, we're all about the loose numbers around here. 8, 9, and 10, or close enough. Finishing off now. Palms flat on the floor. and we're going to gently raise our palms up. We're keeping our fingers down on the ground, so they are not going to lift up. You might not get much range doing this. Totally okay. You get to where you get to. This one can feel some tense stretching through your palms and through your fingers. We're going to go for 10. So that was 2. We're going to go 3, 4, 5, 6. Allowing yourself to put a little bit of weight here. 7, 8, so that you're kind of lifting your body a little bit up. 9 and 10, but definitely not like all of your weight over your hands. And just what we're doing with those last 3 is just developing some wrist strength, asking our wrist muscles to work a little bit with a little bit of weight under them. All very good stuff. And that brings us to the end of our warm-up. I'm going to pop it back up now and start the very first round of our medium intensity interval training. Here we are, first round of our intervals. We are going to go for 7 minutes without stopping. Now you can do as many times through these exercises as you want, so you can make this more intense for yourself. I'm just going to go through at a moderate pace. You're welcome to follow me along or pump those suckers out. It's really up to you. There is no rules here. But we're going to start standing up. I'm going to turn this way because I am on a mat and that's the direction my mat is facing. So we're going to do standing up, and then as any way we're able to, we're going to do a controlled placing of ourselves on the ground, laying on our backs. So an easy way to do this, bend your knees, hands come to floor, step through with the back foot, laying down, sitting up, hands placed on the floor, stepping one foot up, other foot comes through, boom, we are standing again. So we're going to do 5 of these. We're going to do 5 back to grounds. So going again, hands to the floor, stepping down, laying flat, taking our time, sitting up, hands to floor, step it up, back to standing, facing this way. That's 2. This is 3. Remember, we're working towards 5. 3. 4. 5. Finishing where we started, at the top with standing. Alrighty, now our next exercise is going to be on the ground, so we're hopping back down. The same way we've just been practicing getting up though. It's all for a good cause, except we're not laying on our backs. What am I doing? We're going onto our front, into a plank. Now, you have 2 options here. You can do a plank from your knees or a plank from your toes. It is whatever you are comfortable with. But coming up onto our toes, squeezing our butt, rounding our back up a little bit, so pulling our chest upwards a little bit. What we're going to do is take a step. 1, 2, and then we're going to step it back. 1, 2, to our starting position. Yes. And then we're going to go the other way. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you can do that from your knees as well. The choice is totally yours. Once we've done our plank steps, we are going to jump it back up though. Hopping back up to standing any way that you can to assume our position for crabby steps. Now feel free to add nippers and sound effects however you see fit. We're going to be feet just wider than our shoulders. We're going to push our knees outwards and sit down into a half squat. Nippers at the ready. And we're going to step. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and coming back to our middle spot. Now that is one time through. We're going to now repeat these 3 exercises again. Awesome, alrighty. Here we go, back to grounds. Hands come to the floor, sitting down, laying back. Well, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Working through these at whatever pace you can. Remember, you don't have to keep up with me. You can go faster, you can go slower. It's 4, this is the last one. 5, nice. Righty, now we're popping back down to the floor because we're going to do our plank steps. So coming down. Remember, you can do this from your knees if you want, or from your toes. Feet together, body nice and tight, and we step out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Dropping yourself back down to our knees, standing up. Ready for our crabby shuffles. Yes. Nippers at the ready. Half squat. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Feel free to add some whoops in there. Whoop, 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 whoop. And 3. Back down, back to grounds. 5, back to grounds. Let's go, hands to the floor. 1. 2. 3. Yes, who's loving these? Getting back up and down off the floor can be such an effort. It's 4. Lucky last one coming up. 5. Now, standing back up. No cutting corners here. I know I can't see you, but if we're not finishing how we started, we are not completing the move. And there is no such thing as half of a move. So, standing up before we come back down to the floor. You will thank me for it sometime in the future, I promise you. Back up to our plank steps. Now remember, you can go from your knees, totally okay. And you don't have to take big steps. We're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, back down to our knees, standing up. Ready for our crabby shuffles. We have just 30 more seconds to go. We can do this. Finishing it off. Nippers at the ready. Knees pointing slightly outwards in our half squat. 1, 2, 3, 1. 2. Falling over things. 3, 1, 2, 3. Set malfunction. And we're good. We can still fit in a couple of back to grounds though, because we've got 15 seconds. We don't finish until the time is up. We're going to go 1. This is dedication, friends. We've got 5 seconds. Let's get one more in. 2. And that is our first round done. 2 to go. Here we are, round 2. We're going to start with squats. Feet hip width apart, toes slightly outwards, hip width or greater apart, toes slightly outwards. Dip the knees, poke the hips back. The time is going to start now. We've got 7 minutes. We're going to go for 8 squats. Let's go. 1, that's the way. 2, remember not going as low as me if you don't can, or if you can't. Or if you don't can, good English, yes. 4, 5, that's the way. 6, 2 more. 7 and 8. Righty, next up, we're going to pop it down to the ground and we're going to do sharks. So a shark, you might be asking me, what the plop is that, Bowie? Well, let me show you. It's pretty much because we're going to look just like a hammerhead shark. We're going to lay on the floor. Hands are going to be in front of our chins. We're going to lift our chest up a little bit, hold our hands under our chin. Then we're going to lift our knees up off the floor. We're going to kick our legs. We're going to go turn it. We're going to go for 10 actually. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relaxing. Before we stand back up. No relaxing. No time for relaxing. Because once we've stood back up, set ourselves up, we are going to take our left knee and we're going to place it on the floor. Then we're going to take our right knee and we're going to place it on the floor. Then we're going to take our left leg, bring it up, and we're going to stand back up. It's 1. We're going to go through 6 of these. So now right knee comes to the floor, left knee comes to the floor, right feet steps forward, left feet steps forward. It's 2. Let's go left, left, right, left. It's 3. We're going to go right. 4, 5, 6. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. With that one, if you need something for support by your side, grab whatever you need to stay nice and stable. Now we're going to keep running through these. We still have 5 minutes to go. Yes. Starting with our squats. From the top, 8 squats. Hands together in front of our chest. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the way. It's halfway. It's 5, 6, 7, and that's 8. Nice. Down to the ground. We're going for sharks again. Hands on the floor. Knee comes to the ground. Getting ourselves down. Hands crossed in front of our chin. Bringing them up to our chin. Chest is up slightly off the floor. Our knees are up slightly off the floor. We're going to kick our legs because apparently sharks have legs. They do now. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Feeling like Jaws. Bringing our knees to the ground now. Starting on the left-hand side again. 1. Left down, left up. Right down, right up makes 2. Left down. Ah, don't fall. Left up. Right down. Right up. That is 4. We have 2 to go. Left down. Left up. And right down. Right up. Yes. 2 times 3. Let's go again for a third. Squats by 8. Setting our feet up, just wider than our hips, toes slightly out, hands in front of our chest. 8 squats as low as you feel comfortable to go. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5. Almost there. 6. 2 to go. 7. 1 more. 8. Yes. Bringing it down to the ground. Down to the floor. Another round of sharks. Lying down. Chin on hands. Chest off floor. Knees off floor. Kick. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relaxing just long enough to stand up to bring our knees to the floor. Oh, whose heart rate is up right now? I know mine is. Let's go. Left side first. Left, down, left, up. That's 1. Right, down, right, up. That's 2. Left, down, left to stand up. 3. Right, down, right to stand up. It's 4. Left, down, left to stand up. 5. Lucky last. Right down, right to stand up. 6. Back to our squats. Will this end? Absolutely, friend, it will. Work it through at your own pace. Remember, if you need to stop and have a drink, totally stop and have a drink. Do what you can in this time. If you want to keep it going faster than I am, do that as well. It's okay. Feet wider than hips, toes slightly out, hands in front of chest. Here we go. Breathing in. Let's come down. Breathing out. Up as 1. 2. It's 3. It's 4. It's 5. 6. 7. 8. That's it. Down to the floor. We've got sharks coming up. Doing well. We're almost there. Chest up. Knees up. Hands under chin. Kicking feet. 1, 2. Turning left and right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Coming to our feet in our own time. Standing up slowly if you need to, because you may get a bit dizzy in the head. We have just 45 seconds left. Let's get these knees done. Left down. 1. That's it. Right down. 2. Right down, right up. Left down. 3. Left up. That's it. Right down. 4. Right up. 5 is left. So left down. 1 more. Right down. 6. 6. Whew. We can get a few squats in here. I know we can. Hands up, front of our chest, toes out, slightly wider than hips. And we go. 1, 2, 3. Whew. Time is up, friends. Nicely done. Round 2, all finished. Just 1 round to go. Here we are, friends. Round 3, lucky last round, last 7 minutes. We're going to kick it off with lunge steps. We're going to take our right foot, we're going to bring it back, and we're going to drop our knee as low as we can to the ground as we can. Step it forward. Let's go. That's 2. We're going for 8. It's 3. Keeping our chest up as high as we can. 4. Knee does not have to touch the ground. 5. Bending it as far as you can to comfortably get back up. 6. 2 more. 7. Last one. 8. Excellent. Coming down to the ground now. You're probably asking me, boy, why do we keep on having to hop onto the floor so much? Because it's good for us. Legs straight up in the air now. Arms up in the air. And what we're going to do, we're going to breathe out. We're going to reach for our toes. They seem so far away. That's okay. As far as you can get is as far as you can get. We're going to go. 1. We're going for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you don't have to keep your legs straight. You don't have to get to your toes. If you can get to here, bonza. If you can just get your shoulders off the ground a tiny bit, you're winning, friends. But now we're not going to hop back up. Tricked you there. You thought I was going to. We're going to stay down on the floor. And we're going to do hip raises. Feet are planted flat on the floor. Hands out to the sides. Palms up so that we're not pushing. We're going to take our hips. And we're going to slowly roll our pelvis. It rolls and then our spine follows. Getting as high as you can. We're not having to try and jack our backs right up there. And coming back down, rolling our spine back down. That's 1, 2, that's it. We're going for 8, 3, doing well. It's 4, halfway, 5, that's it. 6, 2 more. 7, last one here, and 8, that's it. Remember, getting as high as you can with those. It doesn't matter what height that is, so long as it's not overarching your back. If your butt's getting this far off the floor, doing well. If your butt's getting this far off the floor, doing well. It doesn't matter. You're starting where you're starting. And we're all okay. Standing up, because we're back to our lunges. These are our 3 exercises for our very last round. Starting standing nice and tall. We're going to take our right leg and we are going to step it back just as far as it can go comfortably to drop our knee down, not all the way to the floor, as far as you comfortably can. It's 2, and we're going for 8. 3, 4, 5, that's it. 6, 7, and 8. Now, if you need to have a support with these as well, a chair, a wall, anything like that, totally okay. There is nothing wrong with using some support to help you get these movements down. I'm going to drop it down to the floor again because we're ready for our toe touches again. Yes. Legs are up, arms are up. We're breathing out and we're reaching for those far away toes. 1, 2, 3, just for 6. That's halfway. 4, 5, 6. And then bring our feet down because I've been nice in this round and we do actually get to stay laying on the ground for 2 exercises in a row. Yes. Feet are planted on the floor. Palms are out to the sides and facing up. We're going to slowly roll our pelvis when we need this roll to happen here. And then our spine follows. 1. Going for 8. 2. That's the way. 3. Almost halfway. 4. That's it. We've just hit the halfway mark. We're on the home stretch from here. It's 5. Ooh, until we start again anyway. 6. 2 more. We've got this. 7. That's it. Lucky last. And 8. Nice. Bringing ourselves up off the floor. Standing up. Ready for our lunge steps again. Remember taking your time standing up. If you feel a little bit dizzy, take a moment. Slow the breathing. Have a sip of water. We're taking our time. You do not have to rush through this. You can go through at whatever pace that you like. We're ready for our lunge steps. Feet under the hips. Take that right leg. It's going to step back. Knee is going to drop down just as comfortably as you can get it to go while being able to come back up. That's the way. 1, keeping our hands at our chest. 2, we're going for 8 here. 3, 4, that's it. 5, 6, almost there. 7, 1 more. 8, awesome. Back down to the floor for the floor half of this half part. Yes. Legs up in the air, arms up in the air. Breathing out, reaching for those toes for 6. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Legs come down, feet come flat to the floor. Palms down beside our hips, facing upwards. We're going to tilt our pelvis. This is the most important part right here. This little pelvis tilt. This is what gets our butts and backs of our legs working. So we want to roll. Rolls up nice and slow. Let's go. 1. We don't want to do these too fast. That's it. 2. Nice and slow, nice and steady. Good. And rolling back down at the end. 3 at the top. A little squeeze of the butt there. Making sure that's where we're working. If you're feeling this in your lower back, don't push so high up. It's 4, so you just come a bit lower. If you're feeling it in your back, you could be just really trying to force yourself up. It's 5, 3 to go. We don't want to feel discomfort in the back at all. 6, should be feeling this all in your butt and the backs of your legs. 7, 1 more. And 8, good. We're on our last 45 seconds. Taking a moment. Things faded away there for a second, but we're good. This is why taking our time to stand up is a good thing to do. Lunge steps. Right foot steps back. Let's go. 1. I'm going for 8. We can squeeze them in. 2, 3, 4. That's it. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. We're done. Well done, friends. Take a moment, have a breath. Let your heart rate slow down. You've done so well. I hope you really enjoyed today's session. Just work through it at your own pace. I hope you don't feel like you've got to rush through this. I did go through at a moderate pace here, but if you are not there, you can slow it down. You don't have to push through this fast. Just do what you can. Get the exercises done as you can, because you're starting where you're starting. There is no perfect here. There is no point where you should be. You don't have to be able to do the exercises like I do. I can do them like this because I've been practicing for a while. And over time, with practice, you can get there too. So you start where you start, and that is perfect. There is no other place better to be than where you are right now, because you've started, and that's a win. Well done, friends. Until next session, have fun, drink water, try and have a warm bath if you can. It will relax your muscles, help you loosen up, and I hope to see you Tuesday night for our live stretch class, where I will definitely help you loosen up. So until then, have a chill weekend. Hope you have fun. Take it easy. Get lots of sleep. That is all. Catch you later.